calling me, like the rainbow, it's calling me, like the rainbow.
Do you want to learn how to do the CIRCLE Hyperlapse mode on the DJI Mavic Air 2? This one? Then you've come to the right video. Let's take a look. Alright, if you're new here, my name is Dan. I do drone how-to videos, video editing tutorials, and epic drone videos. So if that's the kind of stuff that you're into, consider subscribing to the channel, click the little button down below, and let's talk about the CIRCLE Hyperlapse mode of the DJI Mavic Air 2. So let's just take a look at some examples so that we know what we're talking about. Then let's take a look at how to access it and get one going ourselves, step by step. And then lastly, we'll take a look at the camera settings so that you can fine-tune it just the way you want it. Okay, let's take a look at some of these examples here. So as the name suggests, it flies a circle around a subject that you have to specify. I think the most common or obvious example is like a busy traffic island where the drone rotates around, showing all the cars coming in and out, which I don't suggest you try yourself because, I mean, we're not supposed to fly over public roads, cars, people, houses, buildings, that kind of stuff. So I'm trying to find some different examples here just to show you like what this mode can do. So let's take a look at this example where I'm just flying around this house on the beach. It gives a really cool effect because the drone is moving obviously sideways around a subject, but you can also see other stuff moving. So obviously if there's nothing else moving in the frame, like you don't have people or cars, then it is a little bit boring. So the other thing you can do is to just not fly a full circle so that you don't break any aviation laws and like fly over public roads and that kind of stuff. Just like with every other drone feature that your drone comes with, try it out, play with it, like be creative. Do something that you haven't seen before, do something that you haven't thought of before and see what you get. And it doesn't cost anything other than battery life, so just like go wild with it, have fun, do some cool creations, post them down in the comments below. I would love to see what you come up with, but for now let me show you how you can actually get one going yourself. So you want to have the drone up in the air and at least 6 feet above the ground so that you can actually switch between your hyperlapse modes. So obviously you want to tap your button for your photo or for your shooting options, and then you scroll down to hyperlapse and you can see the second from the top is your circle mode. If you needed some time to familiarize yourself with camera settings, little tip here for you, you can keep the drone on the ground and just stay in the first mode, which is the free mode, and then tap the little button in the top right corner, which brings you to the camera settings. They can play around with it and they are universal. So whatever you change for free will also affect your circle mode, your course log mode, your waypoint mode. So there you go. So now you know how to access it. The next step is to find a subject that is either moving itself or that has moving bits around it. We've talked about the traffic island before. So all you want to do is just like with all the quick shot modes on the DJI Mavic Air. And if you don't know the quick shot modes, I've made a whole series about them, so check them out in the description down below. So just like with the quick shot modes, you want to identify your subject simply by drawing a rectangle around it, just like so. And once it's detected it, it will give you the option to either spin left around it or right around it, and you can also control the speed. So once you've done that and you've configured your photo settings down below, you just click the red button and the drone goes off and flies a circle, takes all the photos that you need. And obviously I'm not going to make you watch that. So once that is done, you can see what I talked about in other videos, and I'll mention later as well, is that now it goes ahead and creates the video. So if you wait a minute or so, you can review it, and if you don't like it and still have enough battery life left, you can do it again. That's kind of neat. Okay, so this is how you make one, and I briefly touched on camera settings before. I just want to jump into it real quick and show you some of the differences that there are for the hyperlapse mode. And again, they're universal. So you change it for one, it changes it for all the other ones. So they're hyperlapse settings. They're not CIRCLE Hyperlapse camera settings. They're just your hyperlapse settings. In terms of camera settings, you have your photo type. Now, photo type is pretty self-explanatory. If you're new to this whole videography photo thing, just stick to JPEG. I think it's easier to batch process JPEG photos without having to pay for software. If you don't know how to batch process images at all and make a time lapse out of them, I have video, and that's also down below in the description. So take a look at that. That might really help you out. If you know what you're doing, use RAW. RAW captures more detail in the image, so stick to that. I wouldn't turn it off, because why would you turn it off? It's nice to get the photos and get the ability to edit the photos, batch process them, and make your own time lapse. But you can see here down below, there's also the video option, and that is the video I just talked about, that once the drone takes the last picture of the hyperlapse, it will go ahead and create the video while it's still up in the air, wasting a precious minute of battery life. But hey, at least you get to review it right there, right then. All you have to do is, like, when it's finished, click the little play button down here underneath your shutter button, and then you can take a look at the hyperlapse, and if you don't like it, you can just do it again. And the other thing that might be worth knowing is shot frame, because if you turn this on, you get these little borders here in the top left, right, bottom left, right, showing you exactly what's going to be in the shot. Cool. And the biggest one is obviously resolution. There's going to be a whole video about this. It might be in the description already, depending on the time you're watching this. The important thing to know is at 8K, the drone only takes a photo every 6 seconds or longer, depending on how you set it up. At 4K, it can take a photo every 2 seconds. So that's 3 times as many photos. So you have more options, and most likely your hyperlapses are gonna be a little bit smoother. And also, and I will mention this in my other video, what are you gonna do with 8K? Like, the rest of your video is probably gonna be 4K or even 1080p anyway. So yeah, there's that. So keep that in mind. 8K is cool to have. A little bit of a gimmick in my opinion at this point in time, but hey, it is there. Play with it, see what you can do with it. Post it down below in the comments, show me. I would love to see more 8K hyperlapses. Don't have an 8K TV though. Don't know anyone who has an 8K TV. I don't have very many rich friends. I don't think 8K TVs are a thing. So anyways, there's 4K, there's 8K. 4K is probably the option to go. And those are all the settings you need to know. Hopefully you've learned how to set up a CIRCLE Hyperlapse mode. Hopefully it inspired you to do something really cool and creative. If you do, post it down below in the comments. I would love to take a look and check it out. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this, click the subscribe button down below. There's gonna be more videos in this series, and obviously other drone videos in general. If you really liked it, click the little bell icon so that you get notified when I make a new video. Guys, I will see you in the next episode, most likely coming out next week. And until then, have a good one.